Oh, hello everybody. This is just going to be a quick video. This isn't going to be like a hour-long video talking about tiers. Mainly because I'm only knowledgeable with a handful of the cast. But I'm very confident in my order. But again, tier lists are subjective. No tier list is correct. There are probably a lot of things on here that you're going to disagree with, and maybe some things you will agree with, but this is just from my own personal experience with the game so far. So I will say that the top 10 or top 15 are ordered. Also, the way my tier list works is anybody that's an S+, S, or A tier, I feel like all those characters have the ability to win tournaments. Like, they are all strong enough to win tournaments, 100%. Everyone in, like, B, C, and D, they are just lacking a little bit to get there. Some more than others. Especially D tier. D tier needs a lot of help. B tier, those are the ones are probably the ones that just need a little bit more, and they can start doing a lot of damage in tournaments. But let's go ahead and jump in. S+ tier. I really do feel that Narancia needs to be in a tier of his own. Like, when it comes to the top 5, at least on my list, I feel like Narancia is better than him. Like, hands above better than all of them. Everyone does make the, not really excuse, but they say that his combos are really hard. And recently, after trying, it's like, yes, I can see the difficulty of the combos, but it's nothing. If you are experienced in fighting games, learning difficult combos shouldn't be a problem. Like, you put in the work, you're gonna get the results. I've just never been like, everyone was just like, oh man, Sea Viper is so broken in Street Fighter 4 because of how much damage he does. Well, you have to put in the work to get those combos to come out. So, the real things that make Narancia scary are every single one of his buttons are insane. Imagine having normals that multi-hit. Like, all of your normals multi-hit. I think it goes like 5L is 2 hits, and then 5M is 4, and then, or 4 or 6, and then instead heavy, I think it's just the airplane. But anything that deals with, like, shooting bullets with Aerosmith is insane. His projectile beats Emerald Splash. Like, you can't beat Kakyoin and be sitting full screen throwing Emerald Splash because his projectile wins. Like, I think it leaves like 3 bullets left of Narancia's projectile, while Emerald Splash just, I think sometimes one can sneak out, but Narancia is definitely the only character that can like deal with Kakyoin's projectile, at least. The other big thing, his heavy DP being able to lead into Touch of Death and also being the most invincible thing in the game, on top of being able to flash cancel it on whiff. I understand on hit or on block, I get that. The fact that he can do it on whiff is insane. They took that out for like everybody except for him. And then another little stupid thing about his heavy DP, the hitbox extends to the back. There have been times where I've tried to punish and I hit a normal and I get hit. Like, come on. Come on. That ain't right. That is not right. And then damage, just overall damage is insane. Like I said, he can TOD off his DP. Hit confirms are incredibly easy because the range of his normals are insane. All of his jump-ins are really good. His jump heavy is insane. I can't remember if it's stand on or stand off, but it'll hit like 3 times there. It's where he shoots the plane. But yeah, I just don't think anyone can get close to this character, and he definitely needs the nerf hammer. I'm okay with the damage, don't get me wrong, but just take away the DP stuff. It's just too much. Like, no one should be able to touch a death off a DP. That's so stupid. Number 2, Vanilla Ice. Now, I put him at 2, not just because his damage is insane. Everyone knows his damage is insane. Everyone knows Void Ball doesn't scale. The OTG combos don't scale. We know that's a problem. That's not what makes him scary. And you're going to be hearing this a lot from me in like when it comes to the top 10. One reason a lot of these characters are in the top 10 is not because of damage, not because of set play. It's because of normals. There is when I picked up this game, when it first dropped, like back in vanilla, I played Brando. Brando was, of course, like one of the best characters in the game, but that's because rotate cancels were OP. But he never really had poking normals, and when ASBR came out, I started with Brando, went online, did some things, was doing really well until I fought a Josuke, like a part 4 Josuke. And just seeing that things that I'm used to in fighting games, like footsies and ranged normals being a thing, like your mediums going farther than your lights and your heavies going farther than your mediums, I was like, oh, this character's perfect. And sure enough, that's why a lot of these characters are so good, is their normals are insane. Maybe the only person I will kind of not agree with in the top 10 is Prosciutto and Pesci. They don't have the greatest normals, but they make up for a lot of ways. But back to Ice. So Ice what is it, 5M? 5M is a god tier normal. 5C is a god tier normal. His jump C is insane. It is so freaking ambiguous. After throw and doing the foot stomp, depending on when you press C during your jump dash will depend if he goes on the other side or not. And that's really strong. Yes, stylish guard is in the game, and it's a thing, and stylish dodge is a thing too, but when you start mixing that up with the strike throw mix up, like if you're gonna do that, it's great. Like, some people don't like strike throw. Strike throw's fine in this game. Like, situations get turned to 50-50s a lot. And if those mechanics weren't in the game, I think a lot of people wouldn't be playing this game. I don't think I'd be playing this game. If everyone just was a Vortex character, this game would be lame. Another thing that makes Vanilla Ice so strong is that his light command grab has really good startup. Like, it's really quick. Like, if you throw out a jab and you notice the opponent has blocked, just cancel into it and it'll grab them. Now, what's really scary about this, and this is some tech that I figured out, well, I'm not gonna take all the credit. I had a friend who figured this out and just realized that it could be used on a lot of different characters. One of my local friends figured this out when he was picking up Diavolo, and it's what's really scary is Diavolo has to do something very specific to do it. Ice can just do it. Like, Diavolo has to be in stand on, and some of the times it's really good to like set it up by being in standoff and then using 50 meter to go forward and to stand on and do it. But Vanilla Ice, what you do essentially, what the 50-50 is, if they block a jab, you can either go into command grab or you do a delay 5M. Now, if you do command grab, the only thing that will beat those options are backdash and jump. If you dodge, you throw, you mash, you're gonna get hit by the grab. Now, at that point, yeah, you get some health back, and it does reset neutral. That's the only lame thing about the 50-50. But once you have your opponent conditioned to taking the command grab, that's when the delayed 5M comes in. So when they start thinking the delayed 5M is going to happen, or when they think they're going to be getting command grabbed, that's when you start doing delayed 5M. Because then they're going to start backdashing, and they're going to start jumping. And guess what beats that? Delayed 5M. And delayed 5M also beats mashing, throw mashing. Doesn't beat dodge, and it doesn't beat stylish guard, because since you're essentially turning your magic series into not a true block string, they can style guard the 5M. So it's not, most people aren't going to do that unless they're sitting there mashing stylish guard, which people sometimes do. But once you get them in that, once you've trained someone to do that, Vanilla Ice becomes a terror. Like, it's so scary. And honestly, using delayed staggering normals, I think, is the way to go in this game. Maybe not for like someone like Cars, who does infinite block strings and is really annoying, but everybody I feel like should do stagger normals just for frame trap pressure. It's so good. And the worst thing that can happen is they jump, they backdash, and the only thing you have to do is react, and it's not hard. It's not hard. So that's why I think Vanilla Ice is number 2. Really good mix-up game, and damage is insane. Not to mention he has easy ways to combo into GHA and his super, and his stand-on being unblockable is really good. Yeah, you can stylish guard it, but there are ways to mix it up, so very solid character. Prosciutto and Pesci. So Prosciutto and Pesci, I think everyone has agreed since the game has been out that they've been top 3, maybe even being number 2 in the game. It's just that their damage output is insane. The infinite ways they can go into GHA, and they have like the 6th strongest GHA damage in the game. When it comes to like a GHA doing a hit to an opponent, they're up there. I think they're like number 3, because like the top 3 supers in the game, or GHAs in the game, are counters, which makes sense. And then I think it's Foo Fighters, somebody else, and then Prosciutto. Prosciutto actually might be behind Foo Fighters. I can't remember. Standoff, Prosciutto and Pesci is still pretty good. Putting the little fish bobber trap and standing on it when you have a life lead is really strong. That can... It seems like it's impossible to deal with when you have like you're at a health disadvantage. You kind of have to put yourself in a disadvantaged state by running, like dash jumping and then landing and blocking, because this game does have trip guard, so you can land and block. It's just that after you block it, you have to deal with whatever Prosciutto wants to do. And if they're expecting that's going to happen, Prosciutto standoff does have a anti-air. You can flash cancel it to get some starter into his stand-on stuff, but it's not worth it. But in that scenario, it could be. Speaking of stand-on is nuts. Oh man, stand-on is nuts. Really strong overhead, multi-hitting normals. The stand-on normals, honestly, I think are better than the stand-off, but the stand-off normals are just not as good. They definitely have like the weakest stand-off normals in the top 10 for sure. Stand-on is okay. One of the best normals though is what is it? 2H, where he does like the launching thing. That can be used as a really good anti-air, and from there you can lead it into anything. You can do the heavy rush punch. You can do the grab, the hit grab, and then go into whatever. But yeah, Prosciutto and Pesci, really strong characters. Definitely cannot sleep on them. And to be honest with you, I think after nerfs happen, if they just get damage nerfs, they're still going to be top 3. That's why. I forgot to mention, Grateful Dead, locking out the ability to like SG and jump and stuff. Like if you get into level 3, Grateful Dead, Stinky Gas, where you become old, it's hard to deal with pressure because he has a really good mix at that point. So you have to look out for that. But yeah, solid character. That's why they're up there in the top 3. Definitely pick them if you want to see some wins. Now for cars, and it's funny that I'm making this tier list a little bit after I just played Jules in a 2-hour set. I learned a lot about cars tonight, and cars is insane. Cars has one of the craziest win conditions in the game, and it's if you block a normal, he's in his win condition. He's just able to do so much with 1 meter. And not to mention, like, picking the right assist really does help, because Diego assist is insane with that character. It makes block strings go on forever. The dude builds insane amount of meter. Base form cars, I think, is the way to go. I think Ultimate Life Form is completely useless. It might have some advantages in certain matchups, but after what I've seen tonight, I don't see the point. because base cars has his teleport mix up. After throw, it's a 50-50. He's gonna do teleport, and you need to either stylish guard or you need to tech a throw. If you tech a throw, and he does like the teleport where he goes into like he can go into like nothing, and he does like a low, or he goes into the teleport and he comes from the sky and does like an overhead. It's insane. It's unreactable. You cannot react to his teleport mix. There's no cues, no visual cues, no sound cues at all. It's all the same with him. And you have to you just have to guess, and that's just how it is. It's just how you have to deal with it, and it's really, really lame. So besides that, his damage output is pretty good. He does most of his combos, he'll do like maybe 40%, which can lead to 3 touches. But the scary thing is if he ever decides to like never use super at the end of his combos, like after doing like the wall bounce kick, after wall bounce kick, no matter where you go on the stage, you're put back into the 50-50 mix up with teleport. And that's just it. He is easily the most flowchart character in the game, but the flowchart is terrifying when it involves things that you cannot react to, and you just have to guess. And then, not to mention, not needing meter to do damage, and just using meter to do infinite block strings, infinite true block strings. That this dude can burn 3 meters, immediately guard break you. He can guard break you with 3 meters. He can guard break you with less too if he puts gaps in his strings. Because if you put gaps in your string, you reset the guard scaling on your meter. So that's the only time you have a chance to like look out for it. But if he uses 3 bars, he breaks your guard. He's going to go into a combo that's going to build him a meter so he can decide to go into super or not. Like, if it's going to kill you, he's going to go into super. If not, he's going to do 50-50. And then you have to deal with the mix. It's a lot easier said than done to deal with it, because you think, oh, just stylish guard. You're just going to eat 5% for taking a throw every time. When someone is really, really good, they're just going to keep going for throw. If they're going to notice that you're still going to keep stylish guarding. Eventually, you're gonna have to tech the throw, and that's when it gets scary. It's like, is this the time where I need to tech the throw? No. Get hit. So that's why Cars is terrifying and a very, very strong pick. Ultimate Life Form, I really don't know much about. I know it has good zoning. The combos are really good, but he loses the flowchart. He loses the ability to 3-touch. Yeah, he does a shit ton of damage in Ultimate Life Form. I just don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth 2 bars to lose that kind of pressure. I mean, maybe if you want to swag on somebody and just beat them up, that's cool. Or if you're needing to zone, I guess. That's probably your only reasons to go into Ultimate Life Form, but what are you going to do? Oh boy, time for my main, Josuke Higashikata, the 4th. By the 4th, I mean part 4. Yes, this character is insane. And here's why. And it's not just because this dude does insane damage. Everyone does insane damage. Like, Vanilla Ice max damage is like 7. Well, he could TOD. But in most scenarios, he's going to do about 760 damage. Like, you really have to have like specific assists and stuff if you want to do like TODs, like, so it's not really worth it. With Josuke, unloading all of his meter, he can do almost 900 damage. He can pretty much do one combo and kill Cars. He can do one combo and kill Caesar. Any low health character he's going to kill. He can kill Dio, Brando. I mean, dead. And then no matter what, he can 2-touch everyone in the game. Like, with an assist, his damage output is always over 600. So, yes, his damage with assist is insane. But even without assist, he's insane. With 1 bar a meter, he can do over 400, like 400 plus, like 415 damage, while also building that meter back. So, and then like, I think without meter, his max is like in the 300s, which is still insane. Like, it's still really good damage. But besides the damage being insane, this guy's normals are honestly some of the scariest normals in the game. There are people that have better normals, like I think Gia has a little bit better normals, and Caesar has really good normals as well. I don't think they're as good though. They're still really strong, but Josuke's normals are insane. He can shimmy, he do light medium and then back up and see what the opponent's gonna do. If they don't immediately react to you backing up with something, they're gonna get hit in the mouth, like with Stan C, because Stan C's hitbox is insane. Stan C, crouch medium, crouch light, all insane buttons. Even stand medium is really good. Jump in light is insane. Like, it has such an ambiguous hitbox. And that after throw, his mix is insane. It is strike throw. But he can empty jump low you on both sides. He can hit you in the front, land in the front. He can hit you in the front, land the back. He can cross you up. And then you have empty jump throw. So it's a huge mix with him. But you do, like, again, you take the risk because stylish guard can beat you, a jump can beat you if you're not doing a meaty enough jump in. But after that, it just resets honestly, it just resets the neutral. If you see a jump, don't be afraid. Like, if they neutral jump, you can block, you can stylish guard, or if they're gonna jump back and do a normal, just let the neutral reset. You're still one hit away from like doing a crap ton of damage. This character also forces people to pick an assist with 2 breakers. Never fight Josuke with a character with 1 breaker. You're gonna lose. It's just easy as that. Because the second a Josuke player, including myself, sees the breaker happen, they're doing everything that they can to get a hit on you. And it has, and out of all of his normals, like, he has a lot of choices. He has a lot of choices to hit you. His 236 A, B, and C, or light, medium, heavies, are really good. A can cause a crumple, which can lead to a flash cancel into you doing like stand heavy into 236B, which leads to super, which leads into all the damage. The C follow-up has armor. It's a little bit slower, but that's why it does have the armor. You can start mixing that up with the B and C, the B follow-up, because the B is faster and it's an overhead, and C is a low. After that, you can do a lot of cool shenanigans. You can do stand C into 236A, go into super. You can even do 236A, call Koichi assist or Pucci assist or whatever assist you want to continue the combo, and that can lead into you going into stand on combos as well. One of the weaker things about Josuke is he does lack reversals. If, like I said, if stand guard wasn't in the game, he would be screwed. I think he'd be way lower on the tier list. He does have a reversal and stand on, but stand on isn't the best. Stand on is good to go into combos, and it's good. Let's say you end a combo and just going into stand off ground punch is only gonna do like 1 damage. I think it's better to stay in stand on and like throw like a barrier on your opponent as a mix up, because the later, if you put the barrier on early as they wake up, their hitbox as they're waking up is going to make the barrier disappear, which will lead into a throw. And then barrier, at a very specific timing, they have to wake up into it and block it. And at that point, you just can start pressure. Stand on has good normals as well. You can end strings with barrier to continue pressure. Like I said, they are forced to block it. And then you can start mixing in throw and everything. So there's a lot of good pressure. But other than that, it's not really worth it. You really want to be able to just get into stand off again, so you get your ambiguous jump A and everything. So, but do not sleep on this character. I feel like he can be, I guess he could be put lower if someone really wants to. I think he's strong enough to be in the top 5. Damage, normals, everything. He has it all. Just no reversals, and then he has like the second weakest GHA in the game, which isn't a big deal because comboing a GHA is like no one should combo to GHA unless it's gonna kill, or it's like your only option, like Ghiaccio, because he White Album is really good, but it's his only way of like going into big damage if he goes into GHA. So Bruno. So I've only played a handful of Brunos. And yeah, the character's insane. Insane jump normals, just insane normals in general. Combo machine. I'm going to say basic stuff because I really don't know the extent of what the character can do. GHA that can be OTG'd. He like combo into it like off the ground. It's so good. He's like the jack of all trades, master of none. But when I say he's the jack of all trades, he's like at the pinnacle. Like he's right there being the master of everything. Not to mention revive. The fact that he can revive twice in a match is insane. And he has resolve. Like you have to pay attention to what you're doing against a Bruno. Because if they have meter, they're always going to keep one if they know they're about to die. And I've had so many robberies against the Brunos that they just win because revive is so good. What's that? I think it's Jump M. That is the most insane jump in the game. Like, he'll be on the other side of the character, so you're thinking cross up, but it still hits in front. Like, it's so good. I wish I could talk more about Bruno. I just know that he's really strong, really good damage, really good normals, deserves to be up there. The only reason I think I have him below Josuke is just because Josuke's damage is better. That's about it. Ghiaccio. Good old Ghiaccio. Ghiaccio is the Street Fighter 4 Akuma of this game. He is the Vortex, besides Cars. Cars is also Super Vortex, but Gia has like a shit ton of options when it comes to Vortex. His stand off is really slept on because he's so slow. All of his normals are insane in that mode. All of his normals are insane in general. Standoff, he has like the little ice cloud that he shoots out. Super active. Hitbox is pretty good. But that leads in, if he gets you like in a sweep scenario, because he can cancel his sweep. In standoff, he's going to cancel his sweep into the cloud, and he's either going to go into stand on low or stand on overhead, or he's going to go into stand off command grab and do, mix you up again. He just has a lot of options. If he gets you knocked down at any point, he's just terrifying to deal with. Stand on, really insane movement speed. Jump in normals have some of the dumbest hitboxes in the game. The amount of times I've been hit by like jump B or jump M from like a million miles away, and he's still able to combo after it is insane. His only real downside is he has to guess more than like Josuke can two-touch, Vanilla Ice can kill you, Narancia can kill you, Prosciutto can kill you. He just has to guess more. But the most annoying thing about this character, and this is just, everyone knows it, his GHA it's super good because it does a lot of damage, but my god, it's like, it takes a toll on your brain watching that super over and over and over again. Watching him complain about everything. Not to mention, like, if he has a certain taunt on, he won't shut up either. Like, he just talks and talks. He's like Rufus from Street Fighter 4, but at least in Street Fighter 4, you can skip, like, the victory screens. You don't have to listen to him ramble for 5 minutes. All in all, probably, if Cars didn't have his infinite block string and, like, and not to mention, like, being able to do his Vortex off throw, I think Gia would be the best Vortex character in the game. He's right below Cars in terms of Vortex pressure. The only thing that's like lacking is that a lot of his stuff is reactable. The overhead is reactable. The low slide is reactable. The only thing that isn't reactable is after he gets you in a scenario where he sets up Ice Cloud. Right there, that's a guess. It's either he's gonna regular grab, he's going to command grab, or he's going to go into stand on and immediately do a 2L. And if that happens, you're going to be put in the mix again. Not to mention the freeze, the little thing he puts on the ground and stand on. Really, really strong. Again, that's another thing that you have to, like, if he puts it down in front of him and stands on it, you can jump at him. You just have to block low. You can't do anything, though. And then White Album. Gently Weeps is really good if you're going up against zoners. I did forget about this. When he puts that little ice puddle on the ground, that thing is insane. Just saying, if you play Kakyoin, and Max, if you're watching this, look out for this. If he has that puddle on the ground and you do any of your long normals, including like your 2M, you get frozen. Like, you will get frozen full screen every single time. And he can run up and combo you because of his movement speed is so good. Honestly, I think Gia is like one of the best matchups against Kakyoin. Not just for that, just because he can close the distance a lot better than a lot of other characters. But really solid character, deserves to be in the top 10. Diavolo. He's the best. He's like one of the best characters in the game because his counter's so great. All right, GG. That's it. Yep. Yep. That's it. That's it. I'm gone. No, I'm just kidding. Counters irrelevant. Diavolo's scary because he does a shit ton of damage, and he has the 50-50 command grab mix. Everything he does leads to an untechable knockdown. He's just a monster of a character. Give me 1 second. I gotta put on more music. Boo, boo, boo. Let's do. This isn't long, but I'll play it anyway. Okay. But yeah, Diavolo, great damage. Epitaph, don't sleep on Epitaph. Epitaph is a very, very scary tool. Not just on top of like having one of the most insane dashes in the game. Because it's almost like it's like a command dash. His regular dash is like a command dash. It's just really, really strong. And then, you know, Epitaph, he gets the mix-ups by going left and right. He's definitely a two-toucher. He can two-touch you. He builds a shit ton of meters. So everything that he does, he's getting his meter back. He has his own built-in combo breaker. I think Dio has one too. But in certain scenarios, like if, for example, with Josuke, if I were to do 236A and he decides to break that, I can't flash cancel 236A or B or C until certain points. And that can be really... He can just do it, and then he's winning. He's gonna hit me and win. So being able to have the access to 3 breakers, not to mention that he can use that built-in breaker of his at much as he wants. Like, as long as he has 2 bars a meter, he can do it. So I've had it to where I've had games where they've built 4 bars a meter and they only use their meter for combo breaks, and they had 4 breakers in one game. It's insane. The character does a lot. Like, he's very hard to deal with. His jump-ins, his ground normals aren't the best compared to a lot of people in the top 10, but his jump-in normals are nutty. Like, they are very ambiguous. That's about it. I mean, counter's really good. I mean, I think counters in this game are okay. Like, it really has to be like a jump-in. You never really want to use counter on like a wake-up normal, like if you think they're gonna wake up and like mash in your face, because at any point you can just flash cancel and it doesn't matter. But he does have the comeback factor, not just because counter is really good, but just because he is really good. His damage is really good. His only real weakness is his health, and that's kind of like Cars' boat too. Cars, Diavolo, and I think Caesar, have the worst health out of the people in the top 10. But yeah, Diavolo's a fantastic pick for anybody. Do it. Go watch people like No Thank You, who got, I think it was third place at CEO Otaku. So, Kosaku Kawajiri. The only reason Kosaku's up here and not Yoshikage is because Kosaku's damage is just a way, it's even more insane than Kira's, like Yoshikage Kira's. Kosaku has his projectile is insane. especially in stand on. It's super quick. Like, the main difference between Kosaku and Kira is straight up Killer Queen has faster everything as Kosaku. Like, normals the whole thing. Not to mention Kosaku he does not need meter at all to do damage. This dude can dish out 600, 700 damage without using anything. Not to mention that he has ways of getting bites the dust and getting health back. Like, character's super strong, has really good set play. Not to mention that the once you've become a bomb, it's really scary to approach him and Kira. It's one of the scariest mechanics in the game. I think Max even said that. Like, and I totally agree. Like, if you are about to be exploded, it's not fun. You really have to pay attention to what you're doing. Again, his HHA is just a counter. Again, counters or whatever. He does have the weakest GHA in the game in terms of damage, but it is, you know, he does get health back. He gets a good chunk of health back. So, only downside with him is his combos are a little difficult to do. But again, like I said earlier, putting in the work, you're just going to start nailing that stuff. Maybe not online, but offline you'll be good. I wish I knew more, but from what I've seen, I think that's all you really need to know. He has good normals, good damage. That's all I really have to worry about. Caesar. Caesar is a pressure monster. Caesar does a shit ton of pressure, and I see Caesar in top 10s all the time. I see him lower. This guy just puts you in a very annoying situation if he knocks you down. Like, it's really strong to strike throw because TK Bubbles is incredibly strong. What else? Sorry, I'm switching songs already. Yeah, let's do... yeah. TK Bubbles are really good. Hamon Kick is like one of the best reversals in the game. Like, pretty sure you just hit a couple of buttons and there he goes. I actually don't know the input for it, so it's really strong. It goes through everything. If you stylish guard it, he just flies away. Really strong zoning game. His projectiles are incredibly strong. He has a floaty jump, which is kind of lame. His jump L is multi-hitting, really strong. His ground normals are really strong. I think it's either sweep or medium kick. It's one of the... He has a really strong sweep. I think it's sweep. Like, don't quote me on this. Just the fact that he puts you... He does take a handful of tries to kill a person, but it's the fact that after everything he does, he puts you back in a pressure situation. It's what makes this character so scary. There's not a lot of characters in this game that can do what Caesar does, and that's like put really, really strong pressure on the opponent. Like, most of the time people are just going to be doing ambiguous jump-ins or empty jumps. No, this guy has a whole arsenal of other things he can do. But that's my top 10. Again, I wish I knew more in-depth stuff about a handful of the characters. Like I said, I'm just this is just my personal experience of what I fought against. I know how to play Vanilla Ice, Prosciutto, Josuke. Who else do I play? Brando. Kakyoin. I can play Kakyoin. And Yoshikage Kira. Like, those are the only characters I really have picked up. So I'm really going to talk about the next 5 or 6 characters. I'm really not going to go into super details for the rest, because when it comes to like the lower half of A, like from like Okuyasu all the way to Bao, all those characters just are solid. Like, they have all the tools they need in order to do damage, to do set play. They have enough things than everyone below them in order for them to win tournaments, like, easily. Wham has the horn mode. Valentine has his insane, like, flag vortex DP stuff. Bao just has really good movement speed. Zeppeli has really ambiguous stuff, like really annoying, like high-low mix-ups. Fugo has poison. Whole Horse is a zoning monster. Avdol does a shit ton of damage and has some insane normals. Part 4 Jotaro is like Part 3, but just is just a little weaker, which is kind of funny because it's kind of canon accurate. Dio has some of the craziest damage in the game. He just has shit health, but I think that's his only real weakness. Okuyasu had some new tech just figured out, like he can jump cancel some shit, and he has good damage. He has okay normals, but his main thing is like he will keep you close to him. He's going to suck. He's going to use the hand. Who else did I miss? Giorno has okay zoning. Combos aren't the best, but like he has gold experience Requiem. Yeah, it's nerfed from vanilla. I still think though, if he goes into gold experience Requiem, it's a free round. Because if he kills you, he keeps whatever meter he has left and it gets transferred to the next round. Do you know how stupid that is? That he gets to spend 2 bars a meter and kill a person and only lose half of that and have a meter and a half again, to where he can just, do one combo and go into Requiem. It's so stupid. Not to mention he has a standing L, or a standing L that's a low, which means he can go into a taunt combo off of that. I think you have to have, I think the tech was like you have to have a certain taunt that does like a certain amount of words, which is also fucking stupid. Please remove that, because I think there's only like 4 characters in the game that can do it. Just get rid of that shit. That's so stupid. But yeah, okay, where was I? Part 3 Jotaro. Part 3 Jotaro is just like the Ryu of the game. He's great reversal, DP, insane damage, great normals. His command normal has insane range. Combos that go on forever, builds a shit ton of meter. Has time stop. Time stop's okay. He has to have time stop combos like Dio, right, where he can't do anything about it. I think he does. I would assume he does. It's like Heritage for the future. It's like those characters could just do that shit. Yeah, like I said, Ryu of the game. Ryu of the game is usually pretty good, except for like Street Fighter 5, but Street Fighter 5 is shit. Joseph Joestar Toyu. So Joseph, clacker volleys are really stupid, really good projectile. This dude has some bullshit range on his normals. Like, there are times where like you're juggling with the soda move, like the EX soda move, and his stand heavy just hits from a mile away. Yeah. Again, just another character with insane normals, really good damage output, really tricky mix-up play, especially when you're doing clacker boomerang. Kind of miss the old clacker combos from vanilla. Those were really sick. But still a threat in this game, 100%. He could honestly be... I feel like anyone... I think in the top 15, I would say... maybe not Foo Fighters. Maybe Foo Fighters. I'll just go ahead and say, like, anyone that's in the top 15 has the ability to be in the top 10. Shit, I'll even say Paul Naref too. I have Paul Naref at 16. Paul Naref just is... I'll get to that guy in a second. Kakyoin. We all know Kakyoin's really, really good, and this will be the... where I think he belongs. He's in super strong, like, insane... Imagine being Dalsim and being able to, like, combo full screen and then dash in and be able to combo again. Like, that's what Dalsim's going to end up doing in Street Fighter 6, and it's going to be insane. But Emerald Splash is an insane projectile. Jump back, just jumps H in general is just a really good normal. Ground bounces can lead into the tentacle special, which can lead into a flash cancel into a combo. With the right assist, you can do 1,000,000 damage into GHA, which is really good because his GHA has a lot of startup. I'm pretty sure the only way you can combo after is if you do the the elbow, the forward medium. He's strong. Do not get it twisted. This character is strong. I don't think he needs to be in the second place slot, how Max has him. And I'm pretty sure we're always going to argue with that. Like, I think that's always going to be a controversy within the community and himself. I know it's not just because Kakyoin's his main. He genuinely feels that way. And if he's at that level where he thinks that characters can be there, sure. Like, we've seen it. He's won every big tournament that's happened so far. He performed really well in the 5v5. He's proving that the character is that strong, but I just feel like other characters have better tools. Like, his normals are insane, but his movement is really sloppy. He really can only play from like the mid range and from far away. When he's up close, he's not that scary. Because his magic series isn't the strongest. If you want to like cancel into tentacles, you have to cancel C really, really, really early. But as long as you pay really close attention and approach very, very carefully, it's just like fighting Dulcine. I feel like it's no different. But again, still incredibly strong. Don't sleep. Do not sleep on Kakyoin. Everyone slept on him before. I think when this game first dropped, he was like in the bottom. But nah. For a zoner to be able to do as much damage as he does, it's pretty stupid. So Anasui scares me. I think out of every character in the game, I'm afraid of this character the most because, for one, I don't think they're gonna get nerfed in the patch. And if that happens, they're gonna climb to top 10 easily because they do so much. Great set play. Doesn't really need a lot of meter. Standoff is kind of shit. This is one of those characters where you want to stay in stand on because everything is better. A DP, like the heavy DP, like if it hits at a certain point, goes into like a cinematic, which is so cool. And it does great damage. This guy just does great damage overall. Just really solid set play. Really strong stand-on normals. Has the overhead command normal. You don't see a lot of people with just an overhead command, which is awesome. And it's used a lot in combos too. Really good character. I wish I knew more. I wish I knew more in-depth stuff. I just know this character is a threat and you need to watch out for him. This video is 47 minutes long and I'm not even like halfway done. I said this video wasn't going to be fucking long. I'm a liar. All right, I'm only going to talk about 2 more characters and we're going to be done. And that's so FF is fast, has some of the most insane movement in the game. Off throw, you can get 5 of those like twirly OTG bullet things, which is so stupid. It's really, really funny to watch. Can cancel specials into specials with her stand ability, which is, it's like Nago and Strive. It's really, really, it's not like super good compared to like Nago and Strive, but it's still a very useful tool to have. Can TK air fireball, which makes zoning really, really strong. Her strike throw is insane because like after blocking a bullet, she can dash forward and either throw or hit you to continue a block string. Has guard break built into her kit, where with certain assist setups you have to eat it, and when you eat a guard break bullet, you just get hit by GHA, and she has like the 4th strongest GHA in the game. It has a shit ton of startup, and I think that's why it does so much. 'Cause I think raw level 3 is like 550 something, which is stupid. I think in the long run this character can be a threat. I was kind of earlier, I was like, I don't know about FFF, but I don't think FF's going to get the nerf hammer at all. And I think it's going to be one of those characters that's going to go underneath the radar. There's a lot of people playing FF, and the fact that Part 6 is airing still, I don't think they're going to nerf any Part 6 characters. They're just going to either leave them alone if they're strong and buff them if they're weak, because that's what's in right now. Paul Naref. So I was always wondering why everyone put Paul Naref so high. I fought a couple of Polnareffs recently, and I understand why now. I was always like, oh man, Josuke normals are so good. This dude has the most insane stand-on normals in the game. His 5M, or his 2M is insane. His jab is insane. His crouch jab's insane. Like, his combos are really weird and hard to consistently get because he has that move where he like jumps over the opponent and like does the rapier, and sometimes that whiffs. If someone gets consistent with this character, I think Max said this in his tier list, if someone gets consistent with this character, I'm terrified. So we just need one person to be good with Polnareff, and we're all gonna like complain. Not to mention that you can have unblockable setups with his HHA, like the after image thing. It's like Yang in Street Fighter. You do the overhead that hits 3 times, but you're already recovered, so you can do like a jab and do unblockables and stuff. So if they're blocking, you get unblockable setups. It's pretty stupid. So for now, he's gonna sit like right in the middle, but he definitely can fuck shit up. That's for sure. And the last character I'll talk about is Pet Shop. Elon at Sea Otaku showed off how strong this character can be. Really hard to block up close. GHA does insane amounts of damage. HHA does insane amount of damage. Has scary zoning. Scary set play. And it is a bird. The worst thing about Pet Shop, I think, is its health. Like, Pet Shop, I think, has one of the lowest health counts in the game. I think on top of, like, Iggy and stuff. All the animals just get screwed over. But, yeah. I'm telling you, if there were more Pet Shops in America, which I think there needs to be, we need more people to play Pet Shop, because Elon's just going to keep labbing this character, and we're going to have harder and harder times dealing with him. Not Heritage of the Future levels of broken, but I think they found a really good balance with the character to where it's not insane to deal with. Because I guess the other thing is, like, besides having low health pool, they made sure, like especially like with the animals like Iggy and Pet Shop, their hurt boxes are huge. Like, if you're doing air combos, you don't have to worry about them dropping. I guess that's it. Like I said, everyone in B to D really need help to be able to like become a tournament threat. I would say people in B tier have more of a chance than C and D. Like, they're at the cusp of being great. Everyone in D tier sucks. Diego sucks. He does good damage, but like everything he does isn't real is the thing. It's like he has his little dino OTG setup. It's none of that shit's real. Like, he's corpse parts are basically useless with him. Like, do something better with corpse parts with him, please. Mariah is really annoying to deal with. But she also has to guess about 15 times before you're dead, so you have plenty of chances to deal with that. Yukako just does no damage. Iggy does damage, but Iggy is so puny. Gets hit by everything and just melts. Character definitely needs some more help. And then old Joseph. Poor old Joseph, man. He just... They saw how good he was. they saw how good he was in Vanilla. And they were just like, nah, fuck that. We're not going to have that shit anymore. Bring it back. Just bring it back. I think some of the shit that these other characters can do is a little worse than what old Joseph, like, previously was able to do. But who knows? We'll just see. But like I said, this wasn't going to be an hour-long video, and it's at 55 minutes. So, again, there are some characters that I don't know 100% about, but those are my thoughts. Take it or leave it. That's just how I feel about the game right now. But let me know what you guys think. Yell at me on Discord. Yell at me in the comments. And I will see you guys in the next video. So, goodbye for now.